Okay, welcome to another episode of Midlifers. So today we're going to actually have a very interesting episode. We're going to shoot Polaroids and we're going to shoot it and show you how to shoot it in hot environments like what we have in Singapore today. We're in the Chiat area. Some of our viewers, you've asked how we shoot Polaroids and get the colors as accurate as possible. And we have one of those viewers here today. We have Christopher.
Thanks, Prash, for having me. So my name is Chris. So I've been a viewer and fan of the channel.
Yeah,
so I had some problems such as like port failure, like Prash mentioned. Exposure. Is always either turning out very overexposed or underexposed. And also, I realized that some of my images that I just shot became very warm in tone, like very orangey.
Yeah, so, like a magenta shift to the color, right?
Yeah. So it's not like what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to Prash, and then he gave me some tips, and he invited me today. So I'm here to learn.
Yeah, maybe for the viewers out there, what camera have you been shooting with?
Yes, I've been shooting with the Polaroid Now Plus Gen 2.
Yeah, so I think that camera has had exposure issues in the past and still has it right now. But I think there are certain tips and tricks we can employ just to make the film expose a little bit better and have more accurate colors. So we're going to go through them today. For those of you interested in the work Christopher does, we'll link his socials down below. And let's get started on showing you how to shoot better Polaroids. Okay, so the most important thing for great images is great film. So Polaroid makes a lot of film, but it is a bit fragile. So whenever you buy it, try not to buy it from places like Amazon or bulk discount, because normally these films, they're not stored well. Polaroid, it needs to be stored within a certain temperature. Singapore is a little bit too hot for that temperature. So personally, I like to buy it direct from Polaroid, but I think if you buy it from shops that actually store the film cold in a refrigerator, like OKB or 8 Story Tree, I think you'll be more than perfectly fine. I also noticed that certain film shoots and renders colors a little bit better. I don't know whether it's a placebo, but I've noticed that the 600 film with the colored frames, they shoot a little bit better. The colors seem a bit more accurate. I suspect it's due to the actual machine that produces the film, but personally, I have no way of knowing. But of all my images that had the best colors, it was always the colored images with the colored frames from the 600 line, not from the I-type line. Whenever you buy film, also check the expiry date or the manufacturing date here. Make sure the film is, of course, within this 1 year from this date. As long as it is 1 year from this date, the film should be quite fresh. If you notice my film here, it is expired, but I have kept it cold stored ever since I bought it, so I think it should be quite safe. Let's go through some other tips and tricks that you can employ so that this film performs the best. All right, so Chris, I know you bring out your film to shoot outside as well.
Yeah.
So how do you actually carry it out? How do you store it while you bring it out? Because Singapore is quite hot, right?
In the past, I'll just chuck it in my camera bag now.
Okay.
And then I realized the photos turn out, with a weird color shift.
Yep.
So right now, after your advice, when I talk to you on IG, then I put it in this kind of
cooler.
Yeah, a little bit of cooler bag.
Yeah.
When you buy cakes, they give you this
Yes.
ice pack.
Yes.
And then it's really melting already. But then and this small little bag, I think it helps to keep the temperature a bit more well. But just now you show me you have something.
Yeah. I actually
robust,
have
right?
I have a little box that I keep it in. It has like this temperature strip.
Yeah.
So that temperature strip will kind of tell you whether what's the temperature of the box itself. As long as I'm within the range of the Polaroid temperature, I think you'll be quite safe as well.
It's like below 28, right?
Yeah, below 28. And 28, as you know, in Singapore, that's a cold, rainy day.
Yeah, cold, rainy day.
And that's 28, that's already the upper bound. So we have to use ice packs and stuff like that just to keep it cool, not just as the film stays in our pack, but also as the film develops after we shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe I'll show everyone my bag and setup, then you can have a look. Maybe you can do it yourself as well.
Okay,
yeah? Okay, so this is my bag setup. So I use the same ice packs that you get from those confectionery dessert places like Chateraise. I usually put it in between where I store my film as it develops. So I store my film inside this box with the temperature strip, and fresh packs of film, I keep it here so it cools both sides at the same time. Before I actually take out and load a pack of film like this, what I'll make sure is I'll check for condensation. Okay, so if let's say condensation forms immediately like this, I still have to let it thaw a bit more. The reason being is if condensation can form so easily and so fast, condensation will form between the film layers and it will cause them to stick together and jam up your camera. Then after I shoot the film, I will actually store it in this box here. So this box actually came from Resivote. It has a temperature strip on top, so you can see it's at 24 degrees Celsius, which is still on the upper bound, but it will keep the film cool as it develops inside this bag. And this is kept on the other side of the ice pack here. Ideally, don't do this in the sunlight, but you know us, we do it for the views, okay? And I'll eject the dark slide. Okay, so we're good to go. So now we're gonna walk around, we're gonna take images around the Chiat area and let's see if we can keep the color as close to real as possible. As soon as it's shot, because I don't have a frog tongue, I like to keep it upside down like this so that the image layer isn't exposed to the sunlight. And then I'll straight away put it in my bag inside that chill compartment and then just let it cook on its own. And then we'll just continue shooting.
Okay, look in the distance. Hopefully this turns out. 1, 2, 3. Yep, and putting it into my little bag.
Yeah, cooler bag just to
Yep.
keep it cool as it develops.
Oh, very nice for crush. Keep it there for 5 seconds. Store it.
Can you turn your head even more to the side? 3, 2. Okay, so just make sure you flip straight away.
If you don't flip, how?
If you don't flip, then if
you
you're
tried?
under harsh light, you'll have some opacification failure. It's quite a mouthful to say.
What's that mean?
So you have like streaks,
Oh.
blue color streaks. Because there's a first layer that forms over the film,
Okay.
it will protect it as it's developing. Then this first layer actually will dissipate. So that's
Okay.
why you see it become white or blue if it's black and white, and then it will slowly dissipate and if the colors or the black and white image starts to appear.
Okay, so Prash, you know sometimes when I go and shoot, right, I don't finish the whole pack.
Yeah.
So you mentioned to keep the film in a controlled temperature. So,
Yeah.
so what should I do?
So actually, personally, I feel, especially for Polaroid film, it doesn't store well. So once you open it from the tinfoil, just shoot and complete the pack.
Right.
Okay? Because you can't possibly put your entire camera in the fridge as well to keep it cool.
Why not? Why not?
Well, firstly, you're gonna damage the electronics when you
Okay,
take out.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
gonna be
fair enough.
condensation everywhere. You're gonna have like water within your lens. You're never gonna be able to dry it.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't store your camera in the fridge.
Okay.
Okay. If you can, just try to complete. I know the film is expensive, but personally, I rather get a few nice shots, and I pay a bit more for each of them. Then I try to be very economical with my film, but then half of them are like duds.
Right.
You know, so I think you have to make a decision. Of course, if you like the look, by all means, just keep it in a hot environment. Just keep it outside.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right. 3, 2. Okay, let's hope that works. We shot into the light, but I did make it brighter. I'm gonna put it in my little box. Okay.
Okay, let's see. Got it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think should be quite nice.
Okay, done with my pack.
I still have
One more,
shot.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, one shot. Prash, ask you, so let's say, you know my old photos, right? I was wondering, let's say if it's already like magenta shifted, if I put in the freezer, will it turn back?
Actually, no. So once the chemistry has undergone its reaction,
Okay.
you can't reverse it back. Okay, I guess it's just Polaroid's way of making sure the image remains stable.
Alright.
Yeah. So once you have the magenta shift, or let's say you're in a very cold environment and it has that green tinge,
Right.
you can't undo it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Prash, is your bag like some special bag, like thermal bag, or is it like a, you know, what kind of bag is this?
So actually, it's not. It's just a crumpler bag that's
Okay.
quite convenient for the pack of film. I can put everything inside. But of course, if you are very particular about the temperature, you can get those lunch bags.
Right.
They have some thermal insulation.
Okay.
Certain confectionery places, they also give you like this zip lockable or like a zipper bag
okay.
with the lining on the inner to keep the whole thing cold.
Right.
You can do that, but I don't think it's really necessary, especially if you're carrying an ice pack. Any normal bag, as long as you have some compartments to put your film and your ice pack, should be more than enough.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Great.
Right, so we're done shooting and it's getting a little bit hot. So that's another pro tip. Don't shoot in the middle of the day. Try to shoot during golden hour, early morning, late evenings, and that will make your film perform a little bit better. We're going to cover through the images that we took. We've let it develop in my little ice box for a while now. So I'll cover the good images first, okay? So actually, if we look even in the expired pack, okay, the colors are coming out right. So the emphasis of today's photo walk was never about the composition, but I think you took some nice shots, okay? And if you look carefully, you'll see that many of them don't have magenta shift. But of course, you did have one image with the pot failure.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it actually adds to the mood of the image, you know? It's not so bad.
Why is this one the side here like this?
So what happened is when you have pot failure, the pot gets exposed ever so slightly and the chemicals start reacting. Sometimes they dry up as well.
Right.
So there are actually 3 pots.
Right.
So in your case, actually 2 of them failed.
Okay.
So I think part of it dried up. So when it spread, there was not enough chemical to cover that last edge there. You know?
okay.
You took a photo of me, you wanted to try the bokeh.
Yeah,
I think it came out well. The colors also looked quite okay, not too bad. There was another one of me inside the building, came out pretty okay as well. 2 images you did overexpose,
Yes.
but I think that was our fault, okay? As in we didn't really check the setting of the camera.
They hit the maximum shutter speed.
Yeah, it already hit the maximum shutter speed.
Would you say any of these are affected by the heat?
I think very minimal.
Very minimal.
Yeah, maybe perhaps this building here, a little bit, this film.
the
But
chair one.
yeah, so this was towards the end of our shoot. This was actually your last shot.
Yeah, and like the ice packs were probably melted.
Yeah, ice pack was melted. This film was loaded in the camera, so it had warmed up quite a fair bit as well. So it might have hit ambient temperature, which is above 28 degrees Celsius. Yeah. So I took some shots as well. The good ones I think are really great. Okay, the purple shows.
it really
Okay.
comes through.
Yeah, and I think you love this one because we still
the
managed
blue
to
frame.
Yeah, the blue frame and the deep blue in the image. So I
very
think
nice.
that is something most of us don't really see. So I think this one I should have metered for your face. Okay, but this is an auto exposure camera, so I'm not so worried. I think you love this image as well.
Yeah.
The reds really pop on this frame.
Yeah.
Color is super accurate and we don't have any magenta
I think
shade.
yours was better than my
Yeah.
candid one.
Yeah, so there were 2 films that didn't really come out well. Okay, it's these 2. I think this one is because
flare
I
lah.
shot into the light.
Yeah.
So you have a bit of lens flare, but if you look at the greens are fine. The whites don't seem like to have much of a magenta shift. This one was in a very dark area, so I think the camera overexposed.
Yeah.
But if we look
Meter
at,
for the dark.
yeah, it did meter for our shadows, but it's because of that we're able to see ourselves because we tried to do like a Wi-Fi selfie with a mirror
Yeah.
on the glass. Yeah, but otherwise everything else seemed to be out all right. I think just as I said, also try to finish the pack quickly so the temperature isn't too hot. I guess I hope these tips help not just you, but
Yes,
all
yes,
our
yes.
viewers out there. Hopefully you can get a bit more accurate colors, a bit nicer colors. It's a bit cumbersome, but if you want amazing photos, this is what you gotta do in a tropical weather like Singapore. So I hope everyone loved this episode. I hope you took back some tips. So if you love this episode, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Midlifers.